spent my first 15 years trying to get out of the woods because I thought it was horrible. And I spent the next 20 years trying to get back. The truth of the matter is we need to be well-rounded individuals like our forefathers were. And looky there. How? It's that time again, folks. Mountain Readiness Monday is T here, coming at you live from the Appalachia Mountain Range. Tonight we've got an awesome show as usual, and we want to thank all you guys out there in YT and FB land for tuning in. They're in social media land. Remember, like, share, subscribe, ring bells, give us some love. Make the higher powers that be show favor on us with these platforms because they squish us every time we turn around. So give us some love out there so we can keep doing what we do. Sandra Davis is in the house. Sandra, how are you doing? Mr. Russ, Guy, we got some people watching there on different platforms. Thanks, guys, for joining us. And, of course, the guy down below here, he hasn't been back for a little bit. It's the Triple G, our go-to gear guy, Mr. Brian Loftus. Brian, what's up, brother?
What's going on, guys? Glad to be here tonight. Sorry I missed last week.
No, all good, man. All good. You can jump on whenever you want to. And, of course, over here, too, well, it's always backwards. It's that way. There we go. Right over here is Dr. Amanda P. Cartwright. Amanda, how are you doing? Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I'm honored to be here.
Awesome. Well, guys, and look here. If you got questions, that's what we need to see at SHTF. And SHTF in this case is the acronym for Amanda's the name of her YouTube and business, which is Survival Homestead Teaching Farms. Pretty jealous that you got that acronym before I did. That's fabulous. Love it. Love it. But if you got a question for Amanda, guys, shoot that up there in the comments so I can keep track of it. And I'm a one-man army. Remember, one man, I'm the Wizard of Oz, pushing all the buttons behind the curtain. So bear with me if we have any issues. Another thing, guys, and let me just throw this out here because it's super important to us when we have people that give us sponsorships to help us out with these events, because it gets quite costly, and this is going to cover up half of our faces. That's okay. FIB Preparedness, our good friends over there, were a sponsor of Fallout. Thank you, guys, at FIB. Check them out. Give them some love on social media, and we appreciate you. We want to make sure to have that shout out to you guys. So what else do we have here? There's Mr. King. What's going on, brother? Glad that you are here. Remember, guys, too, Matt King with Diamond Design is doing our T-shirts. If you haven't ordered one already, you should. They are awesome. And he is going to have those ready for you at Fallout if you order them by, I think we said December the 5th. So if you get your order in by December the 5th and you're going to be there, those shirts will be waiting on you if you get those in advance. So a long list. Amanda does all kinds of stuff. So known as the Weed Doctor, you're a naturopathic physician, speaker on herbs. We've seen you at numerous shows. You're going to be at Fallout come October, and many books that you've written. One of those, Herbs for Beginners, I believe that Survival Herbs for Beginners. I have that book, And for dummies like myself, it has all kinds of good pictures in it. So if you're into that's how I roll. I got to have pictures. And then we have Herbal Goat Care, Homesteader, Herbal Cattle Care, Herbal Horse Care, Health Assessments. Man, you got a ton of books that you've wrote. First
Mhm.
off, tell me, what is a doctor of naturopathic physician? What is that? Give us the rundown.
A doctor of naturopathic is basically, we're trained to be just like what you would normally see in a medical doctor when you go to your primary care physician, but we are trained to diagnose and to also treat in natural means. And so treating through herbal medicine is one of the things that I was trained in. So I like to hone a lot of my interest into herbs.
Awesome. Now, where are you based out of, Amanda, for everybody that wants to know?
I'm in East Tennessee. I'm in the
East
Tri-City
Tennessee.
area. Mhm.
Awesome. And how long have you been um, into the natural remedies and I mean, how did it start? How long has this been going on? How did you start this journey with herbal?
Well, I was in the Western medicine world where I was a nurse for a long time, and then I went on and got my master's degree, and then went on to get my doctorate. But during that time, I was introduced to chiropractic, which I didn't know anything about, and all of these different holistic ways of helping someone. And so that just got my mind to thinking, this is something I want to understand more. And so back in, I believe it was right before the what I like to call the plandemic happened. Uh, that's when I really got into it, and started learning, and I graduated with my doctorate.
Awesome. Was there something that, I mean, was there a reason for leaving the mainstream medical field? Was it just something that struck a chord that you just weren't happy with?
Yes, it's the agendas that's being pushed, and it's the craziness of the insurance companies are the ones who are actually running a person's health. Sometimes physicians, medical doctors they will have a way of treating a particular issue, but they are not allowed to tell that patient. And I just don't think that that's right. I think the patient needs all the knowledge that they can get. So
I agree. I agree. And we love what you're doing too, Amanda. I'm a firm believer in, there is a place for modern medicine, but herbs are for man's healing. Herbs are for our healing. And there's no doubt that the drug pharmakia is pushed way too much down our throats,
yes.
um,
Now,
with good reason.
T,
Yeah.
can we take that back just a minute there?
Yeah.
So, doctor, you said that they can't actually tell the patient what they're treating?
So, it depends on it. It all depends. If there's different treatments out there, sometimes the insurance companies, if it's going to cost a lot in their pocket, they won't. The doctors are not allowed. The insurance companies actually pay the doctors now. I kind of wish things could go back in time 200 years where the doctors got paid with chickens and eggs and whatever. That's when you had really good health care. But nowadays everything is it's just run by money and power.
That's it. Well, and I mean, for everybody out there, everybody knows that I jump down the rabbit hole just like the rest of the guys. But it's not a coincidence that the AMA, founded by the Rockefellers, come in and pushed all the modern pharmacy drugs and pushed out all the natural healers. There was a reason for that. It was about money. It was about controlling people's lives, and it was about making people sick, because sick people equal big dividends. And I think that's why why we have all these issues today. It's always a drug. It's, oh yeah. Here's something else that kills me is the drugs. When you see them on television, they'll advertise for a drug, and it'll be for psoriasis, and the breakdown of side effects is like stroke. I mean, it's 15 miles long to get to cure psoriasis. Bleeding from the rectum. I'm like, what? I get it. Psoriasis is bad, but we don't have to create 50 different problems
Right.
because of psoriasis. Let's go a little. Let's try some natural remedies here before we start pumping a bunch of drugs into us.
Well, in 1965 was when the FDA took over, and they had herbal medications up until that time. And even medical doctors were trained in herbal medicine up until that time. But it came to a point where, they could take it. The reason that the pharmaceuticals came on board is because of they can't patent something that is natural. So they took parts of an herb, mixed it with all these chemicals, put it in a little tiny pill, and they could sell it for profit that way. Unfortunately.
Yeah. And that's what it is. It comes down to profit margin, and healthy people do not make big money. So we got to have sick people in order to keep pushing drugs, keep people sick. Let's go up here. I've got some questions jumping in here. And so Patrick 7, Patrick, what's going on, brother? Glad you made it. If we get to ask questions about chicory, best way to prepare it. It grows everywhere in Michigan where he is at.
Chicory is a cousin to dandelion. It's that bluish flower, and I love it growing. But you can do it. It's basically the same way as dandelion, and you can use all the parts: the roots, the leaves, the flowers, the stems, and everything. Leaves, put it in salads. It's usually less bitter the earlier in the spring that you can get it. And then the flowers you can saute up and put them on a salad or incorporate them into your diet. The roots are great, just like dandelion. You can make a dandelion coffee, and it's amazing. It's really good.
Whoa, I'm sorry. Did you say dandelion coffee?
Yes.
You got it, bro.
Yep.
Yeah. You caught my ear, coffee. So tell me more about this dandelion coffee. I'm a coffee guy.
It's amazing. You just take the roots and you dry them out, and then you can make it, just grind it just like you would coffee, and it's really good. It's really, really good.
Same with chicory, if I'm not mistaken. In history, they used chicory root as a substitute for coffee, and if am I correct that actually has more caffeine than coffee present?
I believe.
Isn't that what? Yeah.
I believe so. I'm not sure about the caffeine though, but I believe so.
I thought it was. I had my first chicory tea, the first of this year, and it is amazing how close to the taste of coffee that it has. So, and if anybody out there is available to let me know. I think I'm almost positive chicory has a real high dose of caffeine. Somebody Google that for me. I only have so many hands. I can't do it all at the same time. I'm not that good, but yeah, check that out. Check that out, Brian. It's like super strong coffee. So that chicory root, I was impressed. I was like, if everything goes to pieces and I can't get coffee, chicory is not a bad substitute. By far.
And also, I mean, with the chicory or the dandelion, either one, it's got really deep roots. Both of them do have really deep roots, and it's just like comfrey has really, really deep roots. Anything that has deep roots like that, you're bringing up all those good vitamins and minerals from the earth. So you're really getting a good dose of good stuff when you consume that.
Awesome. Yeah, love it. I love it. Now, I will tell you guys, eating dandelion root is not for the faint of heart, however, because that is a really bitter, it's an acquired taste. That's the best way I can put it. That's an acquired taste. Is there a better way to prepare dandelion root, Amanda, that you found that
You
is a
can
little more
saute.
tolerable?
You can saute it up, but usually, if you get it earlier in the spring, it's not as bitter.
Okay. All right. Well, I will try that in the spring. Here we come, because it wasn't the spring, and that stuff was stout. Mr. King, no, you don't have to sign up for her class. All the classes are just available. And for everybody that has asked, I will have a schedule a couple weeks prior to Fallout. I just don't put one out right away because if there's anything that changes, then I have to go back in and change the schedule. And the other part of it is I'm covered up and lazy, and so I wait till the last second to do everything because I'm a procrastinator. There you have it. Ask my wife; she'll tell you all about it. Let's see what we got here. Emily's in the house. It's true. It's true. Amber will tell you. Oh my gosh! I just finished up our closets, walk-in closets, and they have 3 pull-out. Well, they're supposed to have 3 pull-out drawers that I custom built, and I finally finished the drawers. It was just drawerless for 2 years, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I have drawers. I can finally put socks and underwear away." I was like, "Look, get off my back. It's only been 2 years. It's not really that big of a deal." So Emery is on air. Do we got Emery on here? I don't know.
I don't see him.
Christy, what are you talking about? Is he in the house here, or I know he is back. He is back to teaching classes. Him and Carl, tactical rifleman, of course. Who else we got here? Awesome, man. We got a good house. So, Amanda, tell us about the classes that you're going to be doing at Fallout, so everybody gets a little sample taste of what they can expect there this time.
Okay. I'm actually going to be doing 4 different classes, and one of them is the top 10 survival herbs. I'll go through, it's not in any particular order, but it's just ones that I feel that are really important. It's a good class. And I also do how to use herbs medicinally. So I'll walk you through how to make a tea correctly, and I'll do an herbal oil, an herbal salve, a poultice, making putting dried herbs into a capsule, and tinctures and all that good stuff. So I'll be going through all of that. And then I also do an herbal animal care class where I go through 10 different really major things that happens with your pets or livestock animals, so that if you are in a situation where you're not able to go to a veterinarian or get to one, and you can try to help your animal herbally. And then I'll also be doing another class for kids, an herb class for kids. So I'm looking forward to those.
Yes, and that was me that did. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I like having kids classes, and I really appreciate that you pitched in to help with kids classes. And guys, for all you that have kids out there, guys and gals, we got some really cool children's classes, youth classes. Of course, Amanda will be doing one with herbs. Suzanne Shires will be doing one. We've got Rick doing first aid and ferro rod fire starting. And I'm super excited too. Schenkel Leatherworks is going to be doing a make and take there for kids to make like little leather drawstring pouches. They're going to be doing that, so you get to actually take something home. And Survival Sassy, a young girl, will be there doing a paracord class, make and take. So got all kinds of cool youth classes. Speaking of all this time, and we finally have a Fallout video. So let's roll that right now. Here we go. Finally, not even 4 weeks out, finally got a video. Once again, procrastinating. buddy. I like that video. Of course, it's a good thing I'm not monetized the monetized channel. As many times as a gun popped up in that video, I'd be kicked out right there. It'd be no more.
We shut down right away.
Shut down. Like I didn't actually make the video. I liked the video, but it was like when I watched it, I was like, yeah, this isn't going to get any views. It's going to get many views at all running on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. So but that's all right. And yay, Shankles. Yeah, it's going to be cool. Love the Shankles. You've met the Shankles, haven't you, Amanda?
I have not. I don't believe.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they're a great young couple and 4 children, homestead, homeschool, and they run their own leather business. I mean, awesome people. You will love them. It's the salt
best
of the earth.
Parents in the world. I'm telling you right now, best parents in the world. If you want to model anything after those guys, as far as parenting, they are the guys to model it after.
Oh yeah. No, I told them. Yeah, they're and to have a home-based business like that, and I mean they're the shining beacon for young people who want to become self-sufficient. So
they really are.
When I talked to Jim, I was like, man, you got to do a children's class. He come with that. I was like, that's great. So we're going to have a really good lineup. So let's see here. What's Max say? Chicory coffee, it contains no caffeine. Crap. It does, however, you're 45 to 65% of soluble extraction matter. Not sure what that actually means. I'm going to guess that's how much you can pull out of it. Explain that to us, Amanda.
Not sure if I could take on that one. I was thinking it did have caffeine, but I guess not.
I guess not.
Yeah.
That stuff tastes like espresso. It tastes like pure caffeine, guys. So you can fake your brain out into thinking that it has caffeine, because it is strong, to say the least. So what is he saying here? Let's see. After looking into the chicory, it actually contains a sedative quality. Is that true? Now we got sedatives on top of it. I don't know. I don't know.
I've not heard that one.
I'm not either. I'm gonna have to do some study on chicory, it appears. So Matt was also asking, will you have your books available at Mountain Readiness?
I will. I will have all of them there. Yes, I will.
All books.
And I actually have a kids coloring book coming out as well. So for the kids, they can have a coloring book.
Great. That will be great. I'm sure everybody will love that. So
let me ask you. I'm sorry, T. I gotta check you off here, bud. Amanda, how many books do you have out right now?
Let's see. I have 2 notebooks, which is for goats and rabbits. They are it's a health assessment to kind of keep track of their health and things going on. And then I have the survival herbs for beginners. I have the boost your lazy immune system. I have the herbal goat care for homesteaders, the herbal horse care for homesteaders, and the herbal cattle care for homesteaders. I will be having, I think there's 11 different animals total. So I'll have those coming out here pretty soon. So I don't know if I'll have those ready by Mountain Readiness time, but they will be out soon.
Okay, so you're creeping up close to 10, right? Yeah. 7 to 10, somewhere around there. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you're gonna have that at Fallout, correct? The majority of your books at Fallout. Okay. Yeah. So let's talk at Fallout, me and you, and let's see if we can get your books in our store at survivalgear.us, because I would love to have them in the store. I know you're a big homesteader. T's definitely a big homesteader. I wish I could be a homesteader. I live in the suburbs. Maybe someday. But, I have a lot of people who purchase from me who are big-time homesteaders. And I would love to carry your books in the store. So
I really appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate that.
Great stuff. Yeah, hey, stuff like that. And, in this digital world, I am a fan of hardback copies. I like paper. Paper don't forget. So everything crashes, still got books. For those of you who don't have them, you should start buying them because it's highly possible in
You're
this
damn
world
right.
that could happen.
You're damn right.
You should have paper back it up with paper. Go ahead, listen to your stuff on your headphones, but have a paper copy as well. Super important. That's it. And don't forget. I have a question, Amanda. So goats and sheep, parasites is always an issue because they're eating at ground level and they get into, all the bugs. What is the herbs? What's the remedy? How do we stop this without a bunch of drugs?
There's several different ones. Black walnut hulls are really great. There's an herb called Cascara sagrada. And then depending on goats can have garlic. Some animals can't, but goats can have garlic. Garlic's great for that. Marshmallow root, Oregon grapefruit, oregano. I grow a lot of oregano, wormwood, and mugwort. And the psyllium that comes from, this is probably something you don't know, is the psyllium. It's a bulk fiber that you can find in stores. That's actually from the plantain seeds that you find in your yard. So that's that. All of those, that combination of herbs, that'll take care of a lot of issues, and just boost their immune system. That's a big thing for animals as well as humans.
Yes. No, that's helpful. I know black walnut. Now you want that to be, is it green? You want to keep it green? You just want to knock it off the husk, or do you want it to get black? You want it to kind of rot? What's the best for the black walnut? Because I have a bunch here.
Yeah, let it rot a little bit, and then you take that and you can dry it, or you can give it directly to your animals. But if you want to have it, stored away, make sure that it's dried so that any moisture will make things go bad. So if you want to store it long term, dry it really good, but never ever go above 110 degrees. That's a big thing I always push in my classes.
We were just talking about that. Never go above 110 degrees. And why? It just kills all the nutrients. Is that correct?
Yes. All the medicinal benefits are lost at 110 degrees. Yeah. Okay. So if I dry any type of herb, I try to do it just air dry. But if I have to use any kind of peat, it doesn't go anywhere close to the 110. It's usually about 95 degrees.
Now this is going to make some people mad, but canning takes the temperature of things above 110 degrees. So all you guys out there, canning is good. I'm just saying canning is good, but remember, you are killing off huge amounts of nutrition when you can. Am I wrong? Am I wrong, Amanda?
You're not wrong. No. And that's another reason why I like to ferment foods. Fermentation is a way to preserve foods, and it's really good for your body as well.
So give us some examples of fermented foods and what the viewing audience. Michael Fulgham, thanks for joining us. Glad you joined us, man. We appreciate that, and spread the word if you don't mind. But what are some fermented foods that are easy that people can do at the house, to boost that gut biome and help with immune systems and preserve?
Well, sauerkraut is a big one. Sauerkraut, if you have that, if you eat too much of any type of fermented foods, it can mess with your system in a negative way. But if you kind of build up to that, then you're good. That is considered a probiotic for your body. And a probiotic it's the good bacteria that is fighting off all the bad bacteria. So the more good bacteria you've got there, the better your health will be. You can ferment all kinds of things like carrots and any type of vegetable, almost any type of vegetable you can ferment. I'm not a big fan of the real sour taste, but if you incorporate that into your other foods, then it's good for you.
Okay, Doc, I have a question. as far as fermentation process and timing.
Mhm.
So does it vary per, for product that you put in there for fermentation?
It will vary depending on the temperature around, it depends on what your temperature of your house is. If it's really warm, it's going to speed up that fermentation process. If it's colder, it's going to take a little bit longer.
Okay, so do you have a book that kind of has some parameters on fermentation?
I don't. I have been thinking about doing some kind of a book like that, though.
You've
I
got
do.
10 already. What's 11? You might as well jump on that one too, Amanda.
Yeah, this is what I do in the wintertime is I write books.
I can barely get through reading a book without falling asleep on the couch, much less write 10 of them. Man, that's impressive. Impressive to say the least. Now, here's a question that a lot of people, not only is the medical industry rigged to make you sick, but the natural and herbal side of the market is kind of a ripoff many times as well. And what I mean by that, guys, is if you go to Wally World and you buy Wally World herbs, you are buying crap. It's dead. There's really nothing in there. You are wasting your money. It's just what it is. Probiotics are great, but people, I think, forget that for probiotics to work, you have to have good prebiotics. Am I correct in saying that? Because your gut is going to kill everything before it ever hits the going through your system where you need those probiotics. So when we're talking about fermented foods, how do you get that good prebiotic, the good gut health to help carry that through your system?
Well, the prebiotic is the food for the probiotic. And so if you're eating really good, organic, very healthy fruits and vegetables, things that, in the grocery store, you're not going to find the good nutrient things. If you grow these, you're going to have really good a probiotic, the food, to help the probiotic work better.
Right. And so that brings us to, what we're getting in the store, guys. And this is, if you have a backyard, you need to use it. You can be eating the most healthy that you've ever ate. And if you are eating from the store, you ain't eating healthy. You might as well just not do it. You might as well just not do it, guys, because the stuff that they are putting on these foods is mind-blowing. This organopeel crap, the more I read about this toxic pesticide garbage that is just hosed down all over your foods, doesn't matter what you're eating in there, broccoli, avocados, not to mention GMOs, genetically modified garbage, all the pesticides during growing, but then they're hosing this stuff down after the fact, which go ahead and Google it, check it out. If you don't believe me, organopeel, it says 1% citric acid and 99% other, and it's checked off as a pesticide. So 99% pesticide. We bought some broccoli. What was it? About a month and a half ago, and it ended up getting shoved somewhere down in the bottom of the refrigerator. And it sat down there for almost a month and a half. And I pulled it out, and it looked like I just pulled it off the shelf at the grocery store. And I read some more about organopeel and the stuff that they're spraying down on these. They're saying that this stuff will keep the fruits and vegetables looking like it is fresh for up to 2 years. Have you read anything on that, Amanda?
Well, that sounds safe.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's so many things that is really bad in a grocery store nowadays. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is, people are thinking they're going to be eating healthy if they purchase like some good oils from the store, but those oils they take a chemical called hexane and they extract the oils from seeds, and then they have to put another chemical in there so that we don't react negative to that. And so, if we can press our own seeds and get the oil out, then, it's a lot healthier.
Yes. Yes. And let's not forget that soybean oil, for instance, was originally manufactured for gear lube. It was lubrication for machinery, guys. So and they had already made contracts with all these farmers, and they said, hey, we need this much soybean produced. Well, at a certain point, they were overflowing. They're like, what are we going to do with all of this soybean oil? Oh yeah, let's go ahead and sell it as as something that people can eat as an alternative to evil butter. You don't need, let's use that. Oh, olive oil, that's bad. Use this soybean oil instead. So, it all comes back to, if you got to know your food. If you are not growing it, you cannot trust that it has not been altered. And it's sad. It's sad that we live in a world that nutrition, even if you are trying to be healthy, and the sad part is as well, it's expensive. So not only are you eating pesticides and chemicals, but you're paying a ridiculous amount of money to kill yourself, is what it comes down to. So I don't know. What do you grow? You have a homestead as well.
I do, yes.
What all do you raise and grow?
We, as far as garden, we do all types of vegetables. We have a lot of fruit trees. We have, the normal cucumbers and beans and corn and things like that. And then we also have animals on our homestead where we have we raise Nigerian dwarf goats for milk. And we have ducks for the eggs and the meat. And we also have meat rabbits. And
nice.
We do have chickens, but I live right next door to my in-laws, and they take care of that, and cattle. So we sort of share in the responsibilities of animal care. So
awesome. Now,
Okay, listen, I have to ask. I have to ask.
Yeah.
Amanda, can you elaborate on Nigerian? Were there dwarf goats?
Dwarf goats, yes.
I own no goats, so
okay.
Please enlighten me.
They are really tiny, small, but they produce about almost a gallon of milk per day. Wow. And yeah, it's the highest butter fat milk that you can get from a goat. And so it's really high in fat. And that's something in a survival situation that people will need, is that fat content to sustain them, And so that's what we really liked about that. And the Nigerians they don't eat as much as other goats. So that's less feed, less things we have to grow to feed them. And so it just works out. I love Nigerian dwarfs.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Let's say you have a family of 5. Mm-hmm. I mean, is there any sort of ratio that you might have for anybody listening right now? Now, listen, I'm not a family of 5. There's 2 of us. That's it. But if there might be a family of 5, how many of these Nigerian dwarf goats might you need to be comfortable?
Well, it depends on if you are wanting to breed them and then, continually breed. And if you're talking just for milk consumption, that would all depend on, how much milk they would drink. Mm-hmm. With goats, it's a little different than cows because the cream will not separate like it does with cow milk. And so you can take that cream and then I can go turn turn that into butter or sour cream or, a whole host of different things. And then you have all that milk. And if you don't drink that milk, then you can turn that around and give it back to your animals. So it's a full circle.
Okay, interesting.
So I'm not really sure. It depends on the family.
Okay.
We do a lot of the same thing. A lot of, people, I know the bougie pet livestock animal thing. It's a thing now, everybody has. And unfortunately, Amber, she's got her chickens with little coats and stuff. She'll dress them up. But I'm going to tell you right now, we eat them dudes. All right. They look cute till they get into the fryer, and then they look even more cute sitting on my dinner plate.
You're brutal, T. I love it. You're brutal.
Hey man, we've got 4 H2GO meat goats, heritage breed meat goats, and I'm gonna tell you, I have mowed my grass. Now, guys, I live in northwestern North Carolina. It's like a tropical rainforest here. Like, we have just the craziest plant life here in the mountains, and I have mowed my grass twice the entire year. That is it. I've cleared no brush. All I do is move goats around about 3-4 times a day. Zero feed. These guys, you can't even give them feed. You can actually kill them from giving them regular feed. They were bred just for eating, foraging. They're foraging animals. So, if you have a homestead and you're trying to build that permaculture, you're trying to get that decent pasture, which we cleared out quite a few areas that we're trying to get for pasture, because we want to get sheep, and to have sheep, you have to have good pasture, or you end up with dead sheep, unfortunately. But we our chickens, we raise heritage Bellefelters, and Bellefelters, of course, they're a dual purpose, which means you can do the eggs and then you can eat them. And of course, the hens get up to 15 pounds a piece. These are monsters. These are monster chickens. But when we eat a chicken, we put the chicken carcass out with the chickens, and a lot of people don't realize that those chickens are like little pterodactyls. Man, they eat everything, or Vasilia raptors. There you go, little raptor chickens. They eat everything. They will clean that straight to the bone, and we also feed their shells back to them. Bake their shells, feed it right back to them, gives them all those minerals that they need to keep producing good quality shells on the eggs. So that's some tricks you guys you can do if you're raising chickens, which is, of course, the norm. If you're going to get into homesteading, that's what you start with. Feed that stuff right back to them. Contrary to what you may think, those cute little chickens, they eat anything, including meat and each other. So jump on in there. That's how I said it, Brian.
Here's a little tidbit. Did you know that cashmere comes from goats?
Cashmere comes from what?
Goats. Cashmere comes from goats.
From goats.
Yeah.
No kidding.
I didn't know that when I first started goats.
What kind of goat?
Well, I know that you can get it from Nigerian dwarfs. I'm not sure about other goats, but yeah. It's interesting.
I did not know that. No. And let's see here. Well, I think we've got some more questions. Man, they've just been blowing up. I haven't been watching it. And yes, Russ, I am the OG of procrastination. Thank you for backing Amber up. I expect nothing less. Here's one about rabbits. What do you feed the rabbits? Commercial feed?
Actually, we have rabbit tractors, and they are 2 foot by 8 foot, and we just take them and we move them every day, and they mow the grass, and that's what they eat. And in the wintertime, if they need extra, then we grow other things, like a Tagasasti tree. Those will that's the leaves that we could just pull straight off and give to the rabbits. And so, I mean, it's easy. Rabbits are easy to feed.
Nice. There you go. Now, we have some friends of ours just literally right around the corner is Sheridan Park Farms. If you have not checked them out on YouTube, check them out. Chuck is awesome. Sheridan Park Farms, and they suspend their rabbits above the chicken run. And so all the droppings go down. Then the chickens pick through it and then mix it all up in the mulch. And that's how they build their compost. So it's just this levels of each animal doing its specific job. Like with rotational grazing, the cows go in first, then the sheep and the goats go in, then you send the chickens in, and then you move on to the next section. I find it amazing when you let nature do what it was designed to do, how much work you take off of your own shoulders. So Will said, how does goat milk taste? Get some goats, Will. Tastes good. Especially if you're into Mexican food, goat cheese, man, that's where it's at.
Yeah. The goat milk, if you buy goat milk at the store, like if sometimes you can buy the goat milk that's powdered or even the fresh, it does not taste anything like what you get fresh. And I mean, it's amazing. It really is really good for you. And I love it. I love goat milk.
So I've got to ask, because I like stirring the pot. Cow milk versus goat. I mean, should we be drinking cow milk? Yes or no?
Well, it depends on if it's raw or not.
So there's
a lot
of people. Yeah, they say that the cow, it bulks up the calf very quickly, and it's not good for human consumption really when you break it down, because a human body doesn't break it down like a baby calf. What's your take on
it? If you're going to purchase milk from a store, it's always going to be pasteurized, and if it's ultra pasteurized, you should always stay away from that. But even pasteurization, that kills the good stuff. So what's the point of drinking it? If you can get your hands on raw cow milk, I don't see a difference nutritional wise between that and goat milk. But I think goat milk tastes even better than cow milk.
Nice. I am partial to goat milk as well. We haven't pulled the trigger on the milking part yet. That's a whole nother, we're still building that infrastructure to make that happen. But Michael, let's see here. Wanting to get some Delaware chickens here in Tennessee. Right now we just have a barnyard mix. I'm not familiar with Delaware chickens. Are you, Amanda? What is a Delaware a heritage breed chicken?
I am not sure on that one. I do not know.
I will tell you something, Michael, is we are huge on heritage breeds of everything that we run. And the reason is they are just naturally more resistant to illnesses and all this kind of stuff that animals can get. Our chickens, we keep the coop nice and clean for them, but we also do the deep litter method. So every 6 months is when we clean out. It's dirt floor. So we're building that compost. We're not sitting in there all day long, every other day cleaning out the coop and stuff like that. But I will tell you, heritage breed, these Bella filters that we've had them for quite some time, and we've had zero issues. We've lost zero chickens. And same thing with our goats, heritage breed, H2GO goats. All of our plants, we go with non-GMO heirloom, all of our heirloom trees. We only lost 2 trees, and I think that was my fault. I forgot about them and left them in a bag too long, before I planted them. So, look into that, Michael, and look into that, guys, if you get the chance, because non-heritage breeds and animals, non-GMOs and heirloom, you're talking about stuff that's been around for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, and it's in its good natural original state, not hybrid, not messed with, genetically modified. I know people like the pretty chickens, what are the ones, the big fluffy fur looking freaky, they almost look like little puppets, but man, those things, they die left and right. They're just not made to handle handle a lot.
Teeth.
In my
They're called
opinion.
silkies. Silky chickens.
There you go.
Silkies.
They're cute. I will not have one. If it's not heritage breed, I just don't touch it. I want. Yeah, Amber's like, nope, not having it. Not having those. Same thing. We did we raised a batch of meat birds, the Cornish cross. I'm gonna tell you right now, those things are genetic freaks of nature. I'll never raise them again. I mean, just anything that in 6 to 8 weeks is ready to butcher, and they eat so much that they will break their own legs. I want no part of. I want no part of it. Have you ever raised the Cornish cross, Amanda? Chickens?
I have not. I have heard. I've heard of people doing that though, but yeah.
Wow.
I had the chance of doing a lot of butchering of chickens back in June, and it was that's something that I had not been able to do before, and I learned a lot, doing butchering of the chickens, and that's another skill that I think a lot of homesteaders need is butchering animals.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. What about you, Brian? You butchered any chickens?
Never. No, I have never. My better half has thousands of them. Thousands. No, personally, I never have. I live in suburbia, USA, so no.
So your better half is she's the hard ass then, is what it comes
Oh,
down
she
to.
is. Yep. She's over there. Definitely the hard ass.
Awesome. So
do either one of you
going on here?
Do either one of you have rabbits?
I have a couple rabbits up in the backyard I would love to kill. I mean, they're getting fatter and fatter every season. I'd love to kill them, but no, we do not own rabbits for produce.
Have you eaten rabbit meat before?
Oh yeah.
I think it tastes like chicken.
Oh,
I'm not a rabbit
it's so much better than chicken. So much better.
See, I'll take chicken any day. I'll take chicken over rabbit any day. Chicken is
my
go-to.
No, man.
Yeah, chicken and fish. Man, I will fish. I've got the pond stocked up, black crappie and bluegill, and fish and chicken. I could live. I'm a simple man. Like I can eat the same thing every day, which I don't have to. Amber is an amazing cook. And so I don't have to, but when, in my single days, it was chicken and fish. That's it. Chicken, fish, salad, chicken, fish, same thing every single day in, day out. Didn't make any difference to me. Sad existence, really. So, Patrick, let's see here. Do the goats know what to eat, or is it possible for them to eat a bad plant and get sick? Yes and no. So I'll throw my 2 cents, and Amanda, you can throw yours in here. What I have learned is that goats are difficult if you do not keep them happy. As soon as goats start getting hungry and bored, they will destroy everything. They will run right through electric fence. They care. It's like your dog Frodo, Brian. It will destroy.
Nothing's
everything.
like Frodo. Nothing is like Frodo.
Man, these goats.
Don't even start, T.
Here's what I will tell you. Is that if I keep them, I watch, so I pick an area out and I make sure it doesn't have any rhododendron or mountain laurel that is really bad and going to kill them right out the gate. And I chop that out if it's in there. But, a lot of the little ferns and stuff that they're not supposed to eat, I will put them in an area and I will take note of what plants are in there that could hurt them. And once they have depleted everything and I see them start to nibble on the stuff that they're not supposed to touch, then I move them. And I've had zero problems whatsoever. They will tell you when it's time to move. And you gotta take note of what those plants are. And I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm not Amanda. I'm not awesome with all my plants like she is writing books. I gotta Google Lens some stuff. Right, I'm like, I have no idea what this plant is. So I hit that sucker with the Google Lens and, this here, they probably shouldn't eat it. And then I watch. And so when they start messing with those no-go plants, I know it's time to get them to the next section. And I've had no problems whatsoever. What about you, Amanda?
Well, I think you said it perfectly. I mean, it's that they will eat and when they get hungry enough, they will eat the bad things. But if you keep them happy, then they're good.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Let's see. Josh Paulson, what's going on, brother? It is going good. We're having a good time. Glad you could join us. There's my mother, Alina. How you doing, Mom? Mom doesn't eat rabbit either. And I don't eat pork either. There, I said it. I threw it out there. Everybody they're like, oh my gosh, are you Islamic? Not really. Not Islamic guy, but don't eat
Dee,
it.
do
Not
we
a
want to
pork
talk
fan.
about your steaks? Would you like to tell everybody how you like your steaks done?
Don't say it, man. Don't say it. I got an image to uphold. So we
Don't get me started, man.
And Brian and I and Joe, Ted, all of us, we were in Atlanta for a Blade Show, and we decided to go to a steakhouse. It was a nice steakhouse, more of an upper crust steakhouse.
It's good.
And we ordered it was bison steak. It was bison steak.
It was
so
bison.
We started over with the ladies, and then it got to Kim, Joe Ted I's better half, and she orders hers, and it gets to Joe, and Joe's like, medium rare, and Brian, I don't remember what you ordered yours, medium rare.
Medium rare.
And it got to me, and she's like, how would you like yours cooked, sir? And I said, well done. She's like, what? I was like, just burn it. Just burn it. I want carbon. Knock the carbon off of that thing. And then then cook it for 10 more minutes. Man, I've never caught so much crap.
Nope.
For how to,
that testosterone card, bro, out the window. Out the window with the test card.
Millions of years it took cavemen to learn how to make fire, and you guys are just going to piss on it and not even use it to cook properly. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Once the moose out of it, it's ready to eat, bro. The moose out of it is ready to go.
So I just saw something here. Where was it? So what do we got here? Says if you dry out eggshells and crush them into powder, then mix them with a high percentage rubbing alcohol, it creates a gelled cooking fuel. You can buy calcium acetate and mix it with the alcohol too. Brian, you're a survival guy, hardcore. Have you ever heard of that?
God, no. No, I'm a survivalist. I'm not a chemist, okay? This guy's a chemist. Patrick, you're a chemist. I'm a knuckle dragger. That's it.
No doubt. Patrick,
okay, so let's focus in on, see if you dry out eggshells and crush them. So eggshells, I know my better half uses in our garden out here. What's the benefit of eggshells?
Do you want me to tell you what the guy was talking about?
Yes. Okay.
Amanda,
would you like a professional on here?
Did you say lime?
Can you say that again?
Did you say lime? What's the benefit of putting eggshells in the garden?
It's the calcium. It's the calcium in the eggshells. I mean, it helps tomato plants drastically. I know that from experience. Yeah.
Well, let's see. Got new comments down here. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm surprised they did not take. Well, he just did. That's what he just did, Matt. He just took my man card for not eating raw meat. That's pretty sad when you lose your man card for not eating raw meat. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Not taking advantage. Let's see. I was the one already. Let's see. Rubbing alcohol, put in a mason jar or Tupperware container. It will last for months, if not a year or more. And, Patrick, why don't you come down this way to North Carolina instead of being in that communist state of Michigan? That's what you need to do. Come hang out with us down here.
He's in Michigan?
Michigan.
That's the ISIS capital of the U.S.
Yeah, it's the USSR, Michigan, the state of Michigan. That's what that is. So,
but there's some really good survivalists in Michigan, actually. Really good survivalists.
Oh yeah, Ted Nugent. Ted Nugent, right there, upper peninsula, 1,000 acres in the UP, right there. So, which I will say, guys, if you've never been to, especially the UP, I was a big fan. Have you been up to the Upper Peninsula, Amanda?
I have not. No, I have not.
Oh man, gorgeous. Like you can get lost out there. We crossed over the Straits of Mackinac. That's like miles of bridge across Lake Michigan up into the Upper Peninsula, and you can drive for 30 miles and not see a single house or a single car. I mean, it's nuts. It is that vast of we almost moved there. We almost moved to the UP, and then I realized that they get like 4 foot of snow in April, and I'm not going to the grocery store on a snowmobile. Just not going to do it. So I opted for North Carolina. So man, it was a good show tonight, guys. It's already an hour in. We've been running our yaps, mainly me, running my jaw. But I want to drop a little tidbit on you guys for those who are still watching. There's a few watching. On Mountain Readiness website, we just threw a class up there, and you were the first to know about it. We're not going to go public with it other than on here, and then next week I'll put it out on social media. But Mr. Alan Kay, season 1 winner of Alone, will be doing a class with us here in North Carolina, a 3-day intensive. So this is going to be a max 15 student class. If you want to really delve deep into primitive skills, and let me warn you, this is a hardcore class. Alan
With a hardcore instructor.
wins. Yeah, he hasn't just won season 1 of Alone. He has trained elite fighting units. He's been all over the world training primitive skills and survival. Just know, if you want a class that will challenge you, this class will do it. And it is at a discounted rate until December the 1st. You can sign up for that. 3 days with Alan Kay, max 15 students right here in North Carolina. If I was lost in the woods, or if I had to go into the woods for extended amount of time and I could pick one person, it would be Alan Kay. I'm going to tell you, that guy is a game when it comes to survival. What were you saying, Brian?
No, all I was saying is that Alan Kay, same thing as you. He's number one. He's the ace, dude. I mean, he won the first season of Alone. The guy is no joke. I met him in person through Bob Toombs, of course, through T. The dude is no joke. Absolutely no joke. Listen, I met a lot of big-time survivalists in my life. All the TV show personalities, even non-TV show personalities, and this guy he's hardcore. He's really hardcore.
Oh, yeah. And this class will be we named it your new year, new you, because it's going to be January the 17th through the 19th, and it will be fire, water, food, shelter, and security, the 5 super important things that you need to know. And it will be, I promise you, bare minimum.
Oh yeah,
hardcore survival class, 3 days.
And T and I will both be taking the class, right, T?
We're going to be there. We're
both going to be taking the class.
Assisting Alan and be there to help out with whatever, but it'd be 15 people. Y'all's the first ones to know. Grab your spots. Once they're gone, they're gone. It's a minute. It's an hour 3 in. Amanda, wrap us out here. Give us tell everybody how we can get in touch with you, how they can get in touch with you, and check out your books and that kind of things. Let me throw this up here. Right there. There is where you are at. Is this everything that everybody needs to know to get in touch with you, Amanda?
Yes, and I also do have a Rumble account, Rumble channel, and it's the same as the YouTube, the same thing. But if you go to the weeddoc.net, I do have a bi-monthly newsletter that comes out every month, and I'm really big on education and helping others learn about herbs. So I have something, come out twice a month, and I want to teach everybody about herbs. So just go on there and sign up.
Man, I am looking forward to having you there at Fallout. I know everybody else is as well, Amanda.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for coming on with us tonight. It was a great talk, and of course, we'll have to have you back on here again when you have the chance. Everybody out there in social media land, thanks for joining in with us. Also, guys out there in Facebook and YouTube and all of our platforms, if you are getting emails from us, you may not be a subscriber. All right. So get up there on the top of Mountain Readiness, it says sign in and subscribe. We've got the full chicken processing class from Daniel Salatin, Mike Dixon, Chantal Mullen, from start to finish, from farm to table. The whole class is live on our website, as well as the AR class with Tactical Rifleman is on there, and we're going to keep throwing stuff on there for our subscribers. So if you guys want to see some really good content, so sign up, subscribe, get that. That's free to you. And make sure to jump over here with Amanda as well. Get those newsletters, because this is what it's about, is educating and informing one another. Brian, lead us out with something, man.
Put me on the spot, T. No worries. Put me on the spot. Okay. So listen, I have been at a number of events with Dr. Cartwright here. We did something, I think, Doc, back in March, as early as March this past year. Yeah, we were out in Kentucky. Last time I saw you was at ETHA. It was in January. I'm sorry, July.
July, yeah.
Oh, it was definitely July.
Yeah, it was hot.
Oh my God, was it hot? It was no kidding hot. But Doc, I'm dying to actually get your books in my store. Let's talk after we get off. Let's talk tomorrow. T's going to hook us up, and let's see if we can get some of your books going in our store here. And we do a lot of books. It's actually one of our biggest sellers is our books.
I really appreciate that.
So we do a lot of stuff with a lot of medics, a lot of different medics, and we do stuff with even who is it? Pete Robertucci. I mean, Pete does some really great books. He does fiction stuff, but of course, your nonfiction, your education. So we do more education than we do anything else. So let's chat about doing some education books, and let's get some discounts going for all of our listeners, all of our watchers out there right now. Listen, I mean, I met you and your husband. I love your husband. He's a really great dude. Tell Jeremiah I said hello. I love you guys. I hope to see you again at an event very, very soon. If it's not going to be at Fallout, it was going to be somewhere else.
Are you at Prepper Camp?
I will be at Prepper Camp, yes.
I'll be there.
All right.
That's coming up.
That's for you, Brian. That's for you. Homestead Medical, Mr. Chuck, as well. And do some stuff. I need to get with you as well, Chuck, to get some stuff rolling with you. We'll be in touch soon. But guys, it is the top of the hour. Once again, thank you to everyone. Awesome chat, awesome time. Remember, if you're going to move with purpose. We'll see you guys next Monday. Thanks, guys.